Why did Tracey step away from the salon after having an incredibly successful career? I'm actually curious about this myself because I don't know this story. We're going to find out exactly why she did it right now on the Biz Talk. You could step away from young nails. Really wanted to say that.
That's hurtful. You see the abuse? I'm abused here.
Oh my God. You know what? If people knew the damn truth, the truth is that Greg and myself are the ones that are... Look at your face. That is the fakest reaction from Tracey.
Therapy from y'all.
You need therapy.
Yeah.
We need therapy.
We need one on staff is what we need.
No, not
right
even...
Here,
listen to
in
me.
that room.
Not even Victoria really knows the abuse that Greg and I suffer from you. Nobody knows because it just happens to please. Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know. Victoria doesn't even know.
Who do you believe? Him or me?
Yeah.
Comment below.
It's not a contest, man.
Oh, it's a contest.
Okay, it's a contest. It's on. Let us know. We want to know.
First of all, there's two of you. There's one of me.
This is true, but people don't know the real Tracey. And I mean that in a fun, playful way, of course. Like, you're not a bad person, of course not. But people don't know. People don't know. Tracey don't take no shit. That's what I will say. There's a fact. There's a fact. You should see her with Greg, especially. It's hilarious. Okay, let's move on, or else we can talk about
the abuse
that we get all day long. Why did you step away from the salon after having an incredibly successful career? Like, you were making tons of money. And now, wait, let me just say this, okay? Tracey went from nail tech, correct me if I'm wrong, from nail tech to salon owner. Mm-hmm. And then she was then a distributor for Young Nails products. But in between that, I don't know if there was crossover or if you stopped one before the other, but
2 years of crossover.
There was 2 years. So even when you started distributing?
I did both.
Okay, so let's just back up here, okay? Let's talk about... Don't ever do that again. Let's talk about your salon business, okay? And why you decided to make that change. Because you had a successful salon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Walk us through, please. Very curious. Because if you have a successful business, you don't just step away from it. You know what I mean? So
I did.
I know you did. Obviously, you're here, but please tell us what was going on and how long. Well, first question: how long did you have the salon? I know I'm not letting you talk. How long did you have the salon? Talk about it from the beginning. Nail tech into salon.
Habib will tell my story for me.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I did nails for 3 years before I opened a salon.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No. Yes. I get confused.
So you went from not doing nails and then 3 years of doing nails, and then you wanted to open a salon right away.
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes sense. It actually makes sense knowing you. Yes. Okay.
See, you can figure out why he knows why I've done all this.
Now I understand everything, but continue. Go ahead.
Then I went from that. I actually ended up coming down here to train with Greg. And
while you owned the salon.
While I owned the salon.
Okay.
So I don't know if I've ever talked about this. So I actually met you guys at show. I was educating for a different company. You guys were a booth next to us, and you kept on bugging us for product because you didn't bring anything. I'm like, can we borrow this?
Sound like us.
Can you have a ceramic dish? Do you have this? Do you have?
And we had it was a small booth.
You guys were sharing a 10 by 10 booth.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. So, and then I watched you guys for 3 years. And
so at that moment, you were like, damn, these guys are cool.
These guys are idiots.
I need to follow what they're doing.
It's like, how are these guys even staying alive?
God, they're awful.
Each show, I'm like, wow, they're still alive. Impressive. But I never tried your product for the 3 years. And finally, I was at a show. We came up to you. You guys had a huge booth at this point. Yep. And I had an ex-sister-in-law.
Yep.
And I'm so happy she didn't say that. I say it with a big smile.
Oh my God.
Anyway, she came up to you guys and she's like, "Hey, we're going to come out next month." Tells you.
Yeah, I remember.
We're going to come out next month and we're going to train with Greg and we're going to become your new mentors. And we've never tried your product.
Yep.
And we did. The very next month we came out.
Yeah.
Became mentors, became educators, and somehow at that same time, Greg talked me into becoming a distributor.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And so I started distribution, very small, started small.
Okay, but let me ask you this. That's a big decision. Like,
I'm very quick on my decisions.
Okay. But even at this time, though, were you thinking, you know what? How long did you have the salon?
I was about 3 years now.
Mm-hmm. So you're 6 years in total. Mm-hmm. And so were you thinking, I'm going to have both, or in the back of your mind, were you thinking like, okay, I'm going to get rid of the salon and go into distribution fully, or?
Wasn't thinking.
Okay. Just go.
I was going to do both at the time.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't plan on, I didn't know. I just went for it. And I came home as a distributor, put stuff on my credit card and
how did your husband feel about that?
Okay, so there's a story behind that, and I think he's told you this before.
Maybe.
He swears up and down I never told him that I started another business.
I could see that.
Until he found the checkbook with the distribution name on it. I'm pretty sure I told him, but then again, I travel without telling him, and I forget.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been on trips where, like, literally Tracey's phone rings, and she's like, "Oh, no, I can't because I'm in New York." "You're in New York?" "Yeah, didn't I tell you?" Like, I've heard that conversation.
I do it all the time.
I know.
So maybe, I'm pretty sure I told him. So that's his story on that. And but I just am that person, like, distribution. You know what? That sounds good. It sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do it. So I did that for 2 years. Did both, and it just got to the point where, so I was doing. Taking the calls, I was doing deliveries, and I got to the point where I'm like, I need to make a decision on what I'm going to do.
Because it got busy.
It got busy.
Yeah.
Got very busy, and so I sold my salon. Now, my salon was very successful. It was rated number 2 in Reading, and that was behind a spa. I was only nails.
Oh, like so enhancements.
They would do, like, newspaper would do, like, oh, this is your, number 1 salon, your number 2 salon, and I was number 2 with just being nails only. So I mean, it was very small but very successful, and I sold it and got rid of it
because distribution was doing
very well
for
and
you.
So I decided to do that, and I went from that to Stan and these other guys had he was doing drafting.
Okay.
And these other guys had this big building, and they did heating and air, like testing for, I forget what it was, rating or whatever. And they had 2 rooms, and I rented those from them. And
that was your business?
First location. No, actually my second location.
For distribution.
And then I decided one day that I was driving by. This is how I find houses and do stuff. I just driving around, and I saw this location, and I'm like, oh, that would be a cool location for a distribution. So I called the lady up and got that place. I think Stan said I did that without telling him too.
I think there's definitely a pattern. So, and it continues today. So yeah.
My husband literally has nightmares about me buying houses.
Because you probably did.
I've done it.
Yeah. So. Okay, like I said, there's a pattern.
And then, I had a great distribution. You did. Had a warehouse part and a store. That's when I finally was able to have, like standard hours of people coming in. It was a little weird for them to come into a construction thing. People did do it, but it was like, here's my set hours. We're open 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I had employees. And then just a lot of shipping.
So, like, your salon business, I mean, at that time, you were cranking. You had full clients. You were like going 3 days a week. You had 3 other techs in there?
I think 4. There's 4 stationed, but 2 were half part-time. I think they were sharing at that time.
Okay, and you're in there as well. So there's what, 5 of you, 6 of you, maybe?
5 altogether.
5 altogether, okay. So did you not, like, after you sold it, did you ever, like, regret? Did you ever say no? You were like, you're still in nails. Obviously, you're on a different part of nails, but you fell in love with a different, like, part of the business of nails, so to speak. Because you were still educating and teaching.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just one of those people that, like, once I'm done, I'm done. I've never, oh, don't you miss your house that you sold? No, I'm done with that. Like, I don't even think about it.
You don't look back.
Yeah. People were like, isn't it because the salon ended up closing after a couple, like, doesn't that upset you that it closed and it didn't work out? I'm like, no, not at all.
Why did it close?
I think she sold it and then it just didn't work out for the next people. So I don't know. I really don't know. I just didn't care.
Why did you start educating initially, even with the other company? Like, what, like, you obviously were looking for more, like, it's super interesting to me because you're in the salon business, you're successful as a tech, you own a salon, it's like you're constantly definitely looking for that next challenge, because then you're educating and then you're traveling and then, you meet us and distribution. It's like things keep piling on, but you're looking for stuff.
Right.
You're not just sitting, you're always looking for, like, the next.
Yeah. I mean, I just get bored. I really do.
Yeah.
So
you like a challenge.
I like a challenge.
You like learning.
And I never even thought about teaching, but a company that I bought some product from called one day and they're like, hey, we're going to be at the Sacramento show and we need people to educate. Can you come educate? Never met them. They never seen my nails. Like, and do you know someone else that can come with you? So another girl in the salon and me went and educated.
That's very interesting.
So that's how that started, and it was fun. I really frustrate the crap out of my husband because even when I was doing shows for you guys, we would travel a lot.
Yeah, we did.
There was a lot, and and I was paying people to cover my distribution while I was gone on top of it. And he's like, you are literally going out of town for that, and it's costing you money because you're paying for that. And then, of course, I eat and drink a lot when I'm out of town, so it really cost us money, or shop. And he's like, he would get very frustrated, and I'm like, I have a purpose. I am working toward something. Whether that was, a lot of times it was to get a better discount with you guys for my product.
Sure,
is like good relationships, or it was something else to do.
Yeah, you can really make the argument that in this case for you, you're traveling, you're teaching, even if you're not making money, you're bettering yourself, like, in the nail industry. There's just no question, right? Like, maybe not financially, it wasn't adding up, but look where all that has sort of, and where it's led to.
It's exactly why I did it. And first of all, I enjoyed doing it. Second of all, it got me excited about what I was doing, especially when I was in salon. Came back with a bunch of energy.
Totally.
Clients loved it. Oh, she's traveling. She's doing this, But and then for distribution, it kind of gave me credibility in my teaching and things that I was doing. But it was always for the next level, and then it eventually turned into coming here and working.
Yeah, what the hell was I thinking?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I was thinking myself. Packed out of a U-Haul.
Well, I mean, there we have it again, right? Like, we ended up, there was an opportunity, right? So we bought Tracys distribution and we wanted to really bring her on board. And then after a year of doing that, we had her actually move. We asked if she would move and work full time here, and she did as director of education. And you did that for a number of years. 3 years, 4 years.
Let's see. I came in 11, and I was director of education. It's just been a year since it changed.
A year. Oh my God.
October was a year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So a year and a half. Maybe a little bit less than that. A little bit less than that.
Yeah.
So going from that, and then now she's general manager, so she's running the company, and we are, we've been growing. We're currently in a challenge, every other business in the world right now, dealing with what everybody has to deal with. But that, to me, I don't even look at that. For me, I still say to myself, we're doing well. I don't care what the numbers come out to be or what they say. Overall, we're doing well. And so, you've managed to come in as general manager during that time. That's a crazy journey, starting from, I want to be a nail technician,
right,
all the way here is insane.
Well, and that's, I don't know, a lot of people might not know too. I mean, I got married at 17.
Yeah.
I did American homeschool because we traveled so much. My dad worked for the government. So I would go to school, a new school, a couple a year, sometimes 1 to 2, sometimes 3 new schools in a year. So finally, from 9th grade on, I did American homeschool. I didn't go to college. Went to nail school.
Yeah.
And I am here.
Yeah. And I think that is so important for nail professionals, especially ones that are starting out, to see your journey, kind of like what you went through. And I'm not saying like you don't have to go and do exactly what Tracey did. Tracey's unique. Tracey is unique. Tracey is Tracey. I mean that in a good way.
I'm crazy.
She's crazy. In the best way though. And she's always seeking out new challenges and new opportunities. But you can, within your own nail space, you can continue to build your clientele in your business. And if that makes you happy, you continue doing that. If it makes you happy to look for other challenges, then you can continue doing that. I mean, you didn't I didn't go to college, I was homeschooled. None of that prevent you
married at 17.
Married at 17. That's so crazy.
Kid at 19.
Kid at 19, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. And you still were, you still had that. There's I think there's a real curiosity, inside of you, like to keep looking for shit.
There's 2 versions of me. It's the curl up in bed.
Yeah. And
do nothing version. And this is real. Like depressed, curl up in bed, just do nothing. Like how many days has it been since I showered version. And then there's this version. And this version I have to stay in because otherwise I will go the other way.
Yeah.
So for me, I like to keep moving.
Yeah, you're extreme. You have an extreme personality. Mm-hmm. It's this being, what we do, which is, it's crazy. It's pretty psychotic here, on the daily, or not, right? You'll go the other extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can identify with that a lot because I'm, that's how I work. I'm the same. I'm very extreme in my personality. And I used to get pissed off at myself for it,
Why?
like, because it was like, this is not normal. People shouldn't work this much. People should, but after years, I just, it's like, this is who I am. This how, like the same way, that's how you're wired. Right.
That's how I'm wired.
And I'm wired in a very similar way. And that's just how I am. And, but it makes me happy. I like to do these things and work. And
I think that's what people don't understand sometimes. And even my husband, poor guy's getting battered is he's finally accepted how I am because he always thought that I was he didn't make sense to him. And then he finally I finally realized it's not anybody. This is you. And this is what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And it way easier after he accepted that too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's that message for nail professionals. I think it's so important. It's like, Tracey stepped away from the salon, I think, maybe from the title, it seems like, oh, she stepped away and then, stopped and got burnt. It's actually the opposite. She stepped away from the salon to do more, still in nail industry because you love it, but I think there are maybe a lot of people out there that are considering stepping away from the salon, maybe because they're feeling some kind of burnout. We've talked about burnout before, and we've talked about ways to combat it. And I think it's taking that aggressive approach towards educating and learning something new, trying new stuff in your business, marketing. A lot of people are frustrated with social media. It's like, look at it as a challenge. I think the way that you've done it, looking at things as a challenge and approaching it from that perspective with curiosity, solves a lot of problems of burnout, depression, all these things, getting on the aggressive.
Right.
It's hard. It's not easy to do, but I think just getting over that fear and accepting these challenges, even if you're considering stepping away. Look at ways to improve your business and broaden your skills. You can't ever stop, right?
No, and giving yourself permission to fail, because any one of those things that I did could fail.
Yeah,
and I have done things that failed.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's not like you change directions and all of a sudden you're like super successful day one. It's like you're eating caca for a while.
You're eating your husband going, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
You used to bring hundreds of dollars home every day.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's just the way it is. So, I really like your story because you stepping away from the salon was more of an avenue of like growing, and you wanted to kind of expand, just your direction. Like, you didn't want to just stay in the salon setting. Whereas if you do, that's great if it makes you happy. But I think that the core of it is, what makes you happy? What makes you happy is doing new things, trying new things, stepping out of the salon, still in the nail industry, distribution, traveling, trade shows, freaking teaching, educating, all that craziness. You like it.
I like it.
Yeah, you sick person.
I am sick. So are you.
Completely. So I would say, for any of you who are maybe considering stepping out of the salon, or stepping away from it, let us know why in the comments below. Or if you've had that thought, what changed your mind? Are you sticking with it? Are you trying other things? I just want to kind of get a feel for where you're at. Tracey, once again, thank you.
Thank you
very much. Thank you guys also for joining us, and we will see you next time on the Biz Talk.